And here we are. Hola, amigos.
Pretty sure that's the extent of his Spanish he knows, too, guys.
Oh, that and tacos.
So, hello, Internet Lands. The Gamecraft Dragon is here. Behold his might.
I'm mighty.
As we finally dragged him away from the 3D printer.
Not really, it's behind me.
I've been nonstop with that thing since he got it hooked up. Literally nonstop. I think the only reprieve that thing gets is when he's asleep.
No, I usually
set
a print to go when I go to bed. The only time it gets a reprieve is when something misprints and I have to empty the vat and clean everything to reprint.
Hi, Dave. Welcome.
Hello. All right, this can go into there, and that can all get some nice UV rays. UV rays, cancer causing, but it makes fun stuff. How are we doing, guys?
As he struggles to figure out what he wants to talk about.
Well, no, we've got a regular standard things. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on what part of the world you're coming from. Today we'll do with the normal things. So today we talk about we're starting off with what's on your bench.
I am currently finishing up. Is it Cinco de Mayo?
Yes, it's the 5th of May.
Oh, holy crap! Yeah. Cinco de Mayo. Hi, everybody. Even though I don't really celebrate it because
neither do the Mexicans.
Yeah. Hi, Mini Marmot. So what I've got going on the bench over here is I am actually in the middle of having to repaint my 2 last Stormcast out of the group that is going to be defending the temple of my diorama because I started painting them and I realized I had thought they had been previously primed. And as I'm painting them, I realized they have not been primed because they were not mine and they were not his. I got them from someone else. And so all my dry brushing was taking the base paint right off.
Not a good look.
Nope. So I had to stop, prime them, and got to do it again. Other than that, my dear husband was very sweet, and he got me a present.
Breaking in the 3D printer, I went out to Squidmar, and he has on his website a couple of busts that he commissioned on Fiverr for some painting classes he's going to do. He's going to do some painting tutorials, and he's going to do them with these busts. I downloaded a couple of the free ones, and I printed one of them. I don't think she's going to watch his tutorial while she's doing this one, but
probably will, or at least watch some of his tutorials. I love watching.
Well, no, you watch a tutorial, but I'm not thinking you're going to wait on that to do his tutorial and do it with him, because the whole reason that he designed those was that so you could do tutorials on.
Stop. I saw that Santonius. I was like, oh, it's the big golden boy.
Did you get that?
Yeah, he sent it to me on Discord.
Okay, well, then I need to get that so I can print it.
Aha, got it.
Thank you. Ear in my ear.
One of his brow lashes, because he picks up them occasionally, and it was stuck in his ear, and it looked really funny sticking out. It kind of looked like a spider leg just kind of going.
How do you know there's no spider leg? Maybe I have spiders in my ears. Think about that when we sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I did see the Kato Sicarius one as well.
Oh, is there a...
Yeah, somebody made a Kato Sicarius and...
Well, I mean, there is a Kato Sicarius official thing.
Yeah, no.
So they made a text-to-speech version of Kato Sicarius.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, Orc.
Pale Orc, how you doing? So, I am...
And if you really need to know what he's up to, you obviously haven't been paying attention.
Well, as you all know, I'm still working on my orcs. I painted up those Ludas. I still haven't got them on Instagram yet, but hey Phoenix. So yeah, I painted up those orcs, and I was going through my box of bits and realized how many actual arms and weapons and heads I have. So in trying to get down how to use this freaking thing, and how to best use this 3D printer, I went out looking for orc bits. And
But you really didn't have to look too far.
Didn't have to look too hard. There are some really bad ones out there. And there are some really good ones. And I found a bunch of really good ones. Basically bits. So I could use the pieces I had and not have this big empty, have this big, huge, unusable box of bits. So I went and I printed out some extra torsos. And I now have about 20 new orcs that I already had weapons and stuff for. I just needed some extra bodies. So printed the bodies, and here we go. So I have a lot more boys that I've been assembling, and I haven't done a lot of painting the last few days. Obviously, I've been very focused on learning my way around working with this resin and working with the printer and learning how to prep it, learning how to use it. There is a learning curve. So if anybody thinks that you just get a 3D printer and boom, you've got an instant miniature collection, it's not that simple. It's obviously much easier than it was years ago when this technology was absolutely brand new, but it is not foolproof. It still has effort that has to be made to it. But I'm digging it. Making some custom figures, making some custom pieces, just kind of have fun, being silly with it, seeing any issues with limbs falling off after your resin snafu. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, the technology is not perfect, and a lot of the models out there look really cool, but they got issues too. So sometimes the size is wildly different. So there's also a learning curve in knowing what you're seeing on your print bed and looking at your STLs and understanding what they mean. So I'm learning a lot. I've been reading a lot of tutorials, but I did like a test figure. I've got one of my soon-to-be female Marines. I made a female Smash Captain. Oh, my limbs are fine. I've got gallons and gallons and gallons of alcohol. I just touched it on my hand. I wiped it off right away. I didn't get any burns. Here's the thing. A lot of people are concerned about the dangerousness of resin. And I'm not telling you they're not dangerous, but I haven't really noticed the smell.
Plague Child apparently has, but nobody else in the house has.
And I think what Plague Child's smelling is all the various alcohols that are being used to clean things. Just telling you, I think it's the alcohol for cleaning the resin. I don't even notice the smell. And I've got this thing right here behind me. And it's been running consistently since the day we started it. I don't think, if I'm awake, I have a print going. I've done I want to say 15, 20 prints so far.
You know what the upside about all that is?
I got a moon. Yeah. Print some really cool wolves. I found some really cool Viking Raider figures for my D&D game.
Nope, you're talking. Go back to your talking.
No, what were you saying?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying what was really cool, and I was holding up moon. I thought you were talking about what do you think is really cool? I'm interested in hearing your brain now. What do you think is cool?
According to Zane, we don't have that many brain cells.
Yeah, fuck. Oh, he is one to talk.
No, I was going to say, for those of us who are doing that painting challenge, He hasn't been painting in the last couple of days. That means we have time to try and boost our numbers.
So rookie numbers out there.
I think I'm at like 40.
That's not bad for you. That's actually really good for you. That's very that again, you don't challenge yourself by any type of challenge. You don't put yourself against other people. You compare yourself to what you've done so far.
And it's really hard when you're married to a guy who's like, I've done over 100 so far this year.
I've done 105. But that's not the point. My volume will slow down, maybe, because I've got like 200 sitting.
There's this painting challenge that that's okay.
You didn't paint
Next
a,
week,
you didn't paint a single mini in March. Oh no, that's right, in March. Yeah, I know, in March you didn't. I hit 100 by the end.
Shut up.
You know, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to shoot for quality as well, which is why I'm trying to slow down. I've only done 100. By the 4-month mark of last year, because remember I didn't start until February. But after I'd been 4 months in, I had painted probably twice that. So I am slowing way down. I'm trying to be better about the stuff I do. I'm trying to have a better eye for detail. I'm trying to be better about cleaning my figures and getting those lines and making sure I get all the mold lines and spending an eye for detail. I really am trying to be better because I want my quality. I want my quality to be up.
So to answer your question, the grab tank equals 1 exactly.
Yep.
So the painting challenge that was something that Mythos and a bunch of the others were doing. Basically, how many minis can you paint in a year? It's just kind of a personal thing, but it's really hard when you got this guy living with you.
I'm just trying to be a motivational factor for everyone.
And for most of us, he's a demotivational factor.
That's terrible. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you hate the work I do.
Absolutely. Fish tacos are in the kitchen for you. It's Tuesday live stream. Remember? What's wrong?
Yeah, you're home really late. Okay. Fish tacos.
There are 2 12-packs Diet Dr. Chestnut in the park.
Oh my gosh, you lovely woman there.
Leg child! Quick! Quick! Go forth! Get the good stuff!
Well, I've already got good stuff here.
What? Diet Dr. Shasta in the van.
Does terrain count? It did for 2 of my minis. 2 of my minis were very obviously terrain pieces.
I was going to say, does that mean my board counts?
As 1.
Cool, that means I'm at 41. Yay! I did not know. Yes, Plague Child will be back. Hi, Mike! Nice to see you. It's been a bit. Been a minute.
So yeah, like I said, I don't want anyone to think that having a 3D printer is an immediate replacement for miniatures. And that's the other point. I mean, honestly, the worst part about the 3D printer is it's giving me an excuse to buy more miniatures. It's giving me an excuse to buy more because I now can use all these extra bits because I can build up some pieces to go around extra bits. What?
I'm just reading Zane's.
Oh my gosh, Weather Pig.
Hi, Weather Pig. Excuse me a second, I'm being paged because somebody doesn't know how to put things down.
Oh my goodness.
Are you freaking kidding me? You can't set it down and put it back up.
That, you know, I gotta say, I also just want to kind of throw out there. Well, here's the thing, Commodore. You want to do that, that'd be great. And then remember, next year you have to beat that total again. And again, it's always about improving yourself. So you want to drive your count up to, if you want to fluff your numbers, then you fluff your numbers. Working on some printed out pieces, some additional pieces for some of my current models. Yeah, that one, Zane. That one. Because I mean, I got works to do. Man, like I said, it was nice to get some extra bodies in there. I was able to get. I started building. Actually, I got a full squad of 10 Shoota orcs with a heavy Shoota. Because a big Shoota. So it's 9 Shoota boys and a Shoota and a heavy big Shoota. Because I want to throw them into the back of a truck and use that as a boom, drop everybody up, go crazy, just kind of run around. Yeah, you were mentioning that, man. That sounds so cool. I actually, again, 3D printing. I actually have some Gasland stuff I'm printing right now because I found some really cool Gasland stuff out on Cult 3D and on Thingiverse. That's the other thing. I mean, I'm looking at this where there's so many options. I mean, I printed my wife a bust. I printed some I'm printing some Gasland stuff for myself right now. There are some out of print figures that people have made basically duplicates of. That there's some out of print figures. God. Okay, here's the other thing I do hate about resin though. I hate super glue. I fucking hate super glue. I really hate super glue. Fucking gets everywhere, sticks to everything, and runs everywhere.
Okay, inside back.
Yeah, I hate super glue.
Wait, what happened? Oh, Zane.
I'd love to.
This stuff won't cause that work to happen. I will never forget somebody though once looked at me going, "Hey honey, you should come dance with me." I can't. Why? Are you still high? No, but my legs are. I'm never gonna let that down. And I'm like, "Your legs are high." He goes, "Yeah, and I think they might be drunk too."
That's a hell of a night.
It was great.
7 TV has the Mad Max Interceptor. Ooh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm like looking over and making sure I didn't miss anything. Other than, I had caffeine. I haven't had any caffeine in 3 days.
Okay, you even sent some stuff by Mike.
Yes, they're all on Facebook.
Okay.
So I have to go grab those off the Facebook.
Okay.
What?
You gonna leave me?
I suppose I could.
I don't want you to.
Okay, then I'll stay here and we'll check it out after the show. Because my computer unfortunately is in another room.
So that's hobby. I mean, I got orcs and orcs and orcs and orcs and orcs and orcs, and going kind of crazy on the orcs.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually, if I had a bigger printer, I found one place that actually, I found one guy that was selling, not even selling, I should say, he just put out there the printable templates. So instead of having them in paper or maybe on cardstock, you can actually print them for Gaslands. I was like, my print bed's too small, so I can put them upright, but then I'm worried that be warped. So I'm probably just going to end up, again, making a copy and putting it onto chipboard and then laminating that crap or something. I really like the idea of Gaslands. I like the whole idea of the game.
He also likes the idea. So with this 3D printer, he has also decided that he is going to try and run his Dark Order game.
Yes. God, I hate super glue. I thought I wiped it off, and now it broke.
He printed something that had this really big gap in it, and I told him that he needed to get some like putty or something and flatten it out and then wrap it around so it looks like, because it's an orc thing, and I said you need to make it look like it's held together by duct tape.
Yeah.
Broke the gun?
No, I broke the mount. I'll end up putting a piece of plastic card on there or something, or I'll just print another one. There are some aggravations.
Stop picking the super glue off your fingers and go get some salt.
I'm running a show here. Plague Child, bring me salt and water.
Thank you, dear.
But I do have a new Cyber Wolf. So Moon now has a figure. Yes, salt and water.
Yes.
It gets rid of super glue on your fingers.
Warm water. It has to be warm water because for whatever reason, cold water doesn't work.
What do you
You need a cup of warm water and some
salt.
There you go, super glue.
Yep. Dingus got a bunch of it on his fingers, and will you stop picking them?
It really does. Yeah. Something in a cup.
Or just bring him the box of salt.
Yeah, just bring him a box of salt and
Get a cup of
water. How goes your lockdown? So I have been jobless for a week, and I have had a 3D printer for a week. So I printed a lot of shit. I got a lot of prospects. I'm not worried. I work in a field that will be fine. We've been approved for unemployment and all that stuff, and we're going to get extra bonus according to the state. They're going to be giving us extra money for everything, so it's all good. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, I'm not really that worried about it. I don't like not having a job. I'm not a person that does well that's when they're not working. It's just the nature of who I am. I'm very thankful. I have good friends. I have good people hanging out with me, either remotely or a couple people that, because we both keep from going out, like repeatedly going out, we actually can have interactions with each other.
Yes, they can actually come over because all they do is stay home. And all we do is stay home, so it's okay. My mom in California was doing that with my my youngest who lives in California with her. Now you sound like me, Mike says. Yes, Mike was very happy and called out your name when you walked by. You know, your fan club desires to see you, dear. Do not deny. Texas is opening more stuff on Friday. That just scares me. The idea that they're reopening and they still don't have a proper treatment for this stuff kind of scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Which means we're probably about to see the second wave hit, which scientists have been warning about. The CDC and all them have been actually warning about it, but, you know, what does the CDC know? I mean, the fact that President Trump told
Okay, we're not getting into this political stuff.
No, I was just going to mention the disinfectant thing and the fact that people actually had to go out of their way to go, please don't do this.
Specifically my teacher?
Yeah. There was your buddy. There goes your buddy. That's up to your dad.
You can have one of the other Diet Shastas.
Okay.
Not one of my Diet Dr. Shastas. You can have a Diet Coke.
They were out of Diet Dr. Shasta, which we get in place of Diet Dr. Pepper because, well, cheaper. And so we had to settle with Diet Diet Shasta Cola,
Which is basically Diet Pepsi.
which is nasty.
It's not my favorite.
They gave you radiation, and then you transferred. Science plan. Well, I'm glad Houston was able to do that. We here in Milwaukee, we're so screwed.
Well, they have a pop-up hospital that went unused. That's not good.
Okay, Zane. Thank you. We can leave the lizard people out of this.
No, I blame it on the killer hornets that are now invading. 2020 is a hell of a year. Giant killer hornets. You know the giant Asian hornets?
Yes.
They've migrated to the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
I especially don't want the future.
Yeah, murder hornets.
At first we had murder, now we have tyrants.
Yeah, those murder hornets. I was watching. Somebody actually beheaded one with a towel. To give you an idea of the size of these things, he snapped the towel at it and beheaded it. And the head was on the ground, and it sat there doing this for like 5 minutes after he cut the head off. Yeah, they're 2 inches in size. They're this fucking big.
No, we don't need a Sharknado to top everything off. We really do not need a Sharknado to top everything off. Maybe. So I was like, no, not a Sharknado. We're going to have a Megalodon decide to show its ass up. Hi! Nom. Oh, there just went Australia.
No. No. The next step is don't look up. So we don't think it's going to be big enough to wipe out life on Earth, but it's going to make somebody really uncomfortable. We have a hard time tracking where exactly it's going to land.
How do you have what? Yeah, okay, we're done.
Just a couple of and a new strand of
I didn't hear about that. Great white. Deep blue gets hungry. Did they?
You know,
who let Trump? You know, they really need to start.
Okay, whoever had.
You know, somebody's screwing with the president. He's just posting shit.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it like this. Something got into God's operating system, and there's bugs in the system. We need to reboot 2020 and just start over, because this shit is not going well.
Reminds me of the Run to the Hills.
Run to the hills. Oh, yeah, it's getting there. All right. All that super glue off my hands. That's lovely. Yeah, if you didn't know that trick, just warm water and some coarse salt. You can use actually regular table salt too, but
we don't own any regular table salt.
We have a lot of coarse salt.
And super glue's all gone. It's a lovely trick.
Let's see. Videos of UFOs from U.S. Navy pilots have been posted.
Sweet.
Nah. We need to build a wall for space. I don't think. And the
meteor that's coming next month is like I don't think so, bitch.
Was that what that big white light is? I thought that was another UFO.
2020 is now written by George R. R. Martin and Stephen King.
I think we forgot a couple people.
That's all you really need. That way we can have murder clowns in July.
Dude, I'm not going outside.
The hornets have mutated. Honka, honka.
All right, speaking of murder clowns, I gotta tell a little funny story. Now, many of you have heard many stories that I've told about my family and how they're fucking crazy. Yeah. Yes, my favorite is the one that got the favorite story I ever had. I don't know if the videos were ever released, but of U.S. pilots playing with the Marfa lights. I think we've just been targeted for exterminatus. At least it'll be quick if it is. I just push the button and the planet dies. I think that's how it works.
This is Holy Terra. They won't exterminate us here. They'll just steal all the water.
Anyway, so speaking of the killer clowns, so you guys have all heard many stories of my psychotic family in their entirety. Well, I have a cousin who works for the Folsom Police Department in California. And apparently on their Facebook, they decided they wanted to do some silly things. And so they set up this video where you see on the ground, it's in the road leading to a sewer grate of a line of donuts. Coming out of the grate is a red balloon. First cop is diving to go inside, while the second cop is trying to hold him back. Third cop is looking at the ground like, what the hell are these donuts here? Third cop's looking up at the balloon like, do I even want to know? And in the grate is Pennywise's head. Yes, a police department posted that picture. It's almost as great as the Roseville Police Department. Thanks. The Roseville Police Department that it took them 3 days before they caught that some of their decals weren't correct. Instead of saying to serve and protect on the side, it said, we'll kick your ass and steal your donuts too. 3 of their cars said that, and it took them 3 days to notice. Apparently the gentleman who did the decal on those cars, that was his last day, so he went and slapped it on there. The Roseville Police Department thought it was hilarious. They wanted to keep the cars, but the police chief said no. So, yay.
Very yay.
Um,
What?
cover cut my tooth. See how that is
The aliens are coming to steal your brain?
What brain?
La la la.
You're assuming I have intelligence.
No, you're just meat.
I am a meat popsicle.
So, some Warhammer stuff. Some places are opening up. None in the States, mind you, but they're starting to open. And web orders are now open. They've also halved. They've also halved the requirement to get free shipping, since obviously you have to ship to your house. So that's nice.
Yay! Thank you.
That's
that little bone.
That's actually pretty nice of them. You know, they don't have to do that.
Battle Group NORAG. No, North? Okay.
North AG. Cold War games. Nice. I'm a fan of Cold War games.
That's almost as funny as the video of a Sheboygan police officer pulled over because there was a baby owl in the middle of the road, and they have her on camera literally walking up to this disgruntled avian going, "Excuse me, sir, are you aware that you are obstructing traffic?" And it just kind of looks at her and goes like this. "I'm going to have to ask you to move, sir. Sir, there's no need for the attitude."
Disgruntled owls. That's all they are.
They're cats of the bird kingdom, from what I've been told. And after watching, there's a guy in Japan who owns one. The crap he pulls with that thing. I'm like, yep, nope, they're cats.
You know, Japan.
They have owl cafes where you can sit and have tea with owls.
Japan's kind of messed up.
They also have cross-dressing restaurants.
Japan's kind of messed up. I'm just saying.
And I'm convinced that they are going to be here a lot longer than the rest of us. First Shades of Red are down.
Very nice.
At least it wasn't the Beast of Prey Road. Hey, Phoenix. Got anything to add on that one? Yes, they are really fluffy, and apparently they melt if they're happy. Yes, we know what day of the week it is. We just ask you that. Be smart about it. Oh, yes, we know what day of the week is. We just ask that you be smart about it. Wow, Greenville Police Department actually stayed there? Nice. Considering what pot's illegal to own here.
Yeah, but Greenfield doesn't give a shit.
Greenfield doesn't give a shit about a lot of stuff. Which is why Greenfield is awesome. Isn't it one of the places we were looking at potentially trying to move?
Yes, it was.
Really? So, Dave, in case, just to give you an idea, Phoenix lives near that area. And she is familiar with the lady that brought her up away.
Dude, I don't disagree with you. I built like my war bikers and I threw their base coat down and I haven't touched them in weeks. I've been like just trying to crank out troops, like boys and boys and boys and boys. And I built a bunch of boys. I got my Ludas done. I got another box of Ludas to do, but I got to build a bunch of guys first. I got to paint a bunch of guys first because that's my rule. And I kind of circumvented my rule by printing a bunch of stuff that I got to build immediately. All
orcs, ladies and gentlemen, and a mouse. So ignore the mouse.
But they're all primed, and some of them have some base coats on them.
Yes, there was a doggo. I want to see Dog
I don't know what Dogman is.
Let's see what else is out there fun to share as we're sitting here.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. This is a hobby week. I'm doing, honestly, I'm building a robot, unnamed type, that I may or may not have found a close facsimile of an official model that I think once it's painted will look like the real thing, which I'm happy for. What do you want, dog boy? Dog boy.
No, it's not a Castellian.
It's a contemptor. I don't care. It's a contemptor.
Are you ready? Are you done?
I wanted a contemptor.
What do you want?
I found a really cool model for a contemptor. It's pretty cool, and so I'm building it. But I was using it as, you know, I was going to test it out. And if I like it, I'll probably end up buying a couple more because it's a cool looking model. But
I did not know terrain pieces counted. That's the challenge.
oh yeah.
So now I'm really happy because now I get to fluff my number by 1.
And then you got to do all your terrain pieces for that board.
Yeah, I'm still need to.
But each one of those will count as a painted mini.
You're gonna take a more.
So Zane, you're asking me if I'm doing Loyalist or Chaos, and I said that I just said Death Guard. Yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna too nurgle it up either, because I'm contemplating. I'm contemplating building some Mark III armors and building a 30K army, which Contemptors were used in.
I'd like to paint. I want to paint one so bad, Mike says. There are many things I want to paint, Mike. I'm not allowed to yet.
Pretty simple model, too. The person who designed it did a pretty good job. That was the piece that snapped off. I was putting together the gun mounts, and they have very low clearance in them. So trying to put the gun into the mount, the shoulder gun into the mount. And again, things you learn about resin. It's super hard, but it is super brittle. So this shit will snap. And because it's a very thin piece, I managed to shatter both of them.
Do you think you could fit a Leviathan? If it's broken up into pieces, possibly.
I'm looking at a Leviathan-esque model right now, and I divvied up. I should be able to get one. The problem is, that's a crap load of resin. So you want to hollow it out. Like my Contemptor base, I got it hollowed, but I had to drill a couple holes in the bottom in the model itself so it would drain. Yeah, I have them. Again, and I want to make the point, I'm getting one of these because I'm going to probably get two more. I'm going to probably buy two more when I have money again. But yeah, because I don't want anyone to think that, oh, you have a 3D printer, so you don't have to pay for your models anymore. And I think that's very
irresponsible.
Super irresponsible. I think it's super irresponsible. But being able to test a couple paint schemes, put one on the battlefield, and have a nice proxy. And
Dave says he thinks he saw Imperial Knights on Pinterest.
Dave, I actually found, that's the whole thing. Depending on what you want to build and who you're willing to look to, there's just about anything out there. And again, because I'm not big in the pirate scene, and I don't want to be a pirate.
I thought you wanted to do one of the Blood Corsairs. Or the Red Corsairs.
I mean real life piracy.
Oh.
I don't want to go nuts. Like if I build something, I'm going to be like, okay, this is a proxy. I want to be clear this is a proxy before I get my real one, that type of thing. Because again, it's somebody else's IP. As somebody who's created things that I want to get paid for, the last thing I want to do is be that guy.
Dave's response was yar.
Yeah. On the other hand, I found a Knight Paladin completely broken down. Somebody did a photo scan of the sprues. So you literally would print out the pieces as if they were on the sprues and then put them together using their instructions. I found the same thing by the same guy for a repulsor or a repulsor executioner.
Like, Chop, would you be so kind as to relieve? Yeah. I think he has to go potties.
Exactly. And that's exactly it, Zane. Honestly, that's exactly what I'm looking at. There's a lot of this stuff that's just really cool that I want to be able to play at least for fun, and I don't play competitively. So, and the other reality is that I have a little tiny plate. I don't have the ability to print gigantic crap. I could build the Leviathan broken down, but I'd have to do a lot of work to get it because it's so much resin. That one night that I found I could print because somebody went to the bother of putting it together.
Give me a second.
And that's the thing. I'm also the guy that's also going to be about support your local game store, and you can't support your local game store if you're not buying stuff from them. So, that's just the reality of it. So I want to support my game store, so I'm going to buy stuff from them. I'm still going to be buying models. I'm still going to be buying figures. That's not going away anytime soon. But there are definitely some models that, you know, like my main goal is that, like I did with my orcs, I'm using my orcs are like 75% orc pieces. I just printed extra legs and bodies so that I could stick arms, legs, heads, and all other good stuff on them. Will, take the dog out now, please. All right. And Zane, for that, I feel bad. I really feel bad that your local game store doesn't sell and that you don't have a local 40K store you can go to. Because that means you probably don't have many people you can play with in your area either, because that's what I found. And that's a real shame. Because, I mean, my main goal for these, honestly, is to play with them. I want to put things on the table, and I want to shoot other people with them. On the other hand, I did find some really nice World War II models as well. And World War II models are fun.
And here I'm just excited over the bus. I am actually painting the last two of my Stormcasts that will be needed for my Armies on Parade board. So I'm kind of excited about that. It was a bit of a... Originally, they were going to be each a color of the rainbow, but somebody went, no. And convinced me to do them all one color. So they're all red. Because red's my favorite color, which is hilarious because they're going to be fighting, guess what? Cornates on a lava board.
There's a lot of red involved in this fight.
Yup. A lot of red, a lot of black, a lot of gray. Broke again.
Never try forcing a piece with resin. Shit will snap.
Like, here. This is one of my little dudes. It's a horrible picture. Pictures are forthcoming of them all, of course. But I've got 5 of them are done. So now I'm just working on 6 and 7. Wow.
Oh.
Better to drive to Fresno. Fresno.
Well, he's an hour from Fresno, so let's tell you where he is.
Yeah, I had a damn good idea where he was to begin with.
We'll figure you out, Zane.
No.
We'll come to your house.
No, I fucking hate Fresno.
Well, he's an hour from Fresno.
I don't hate it nearly as much as I dislike Barstow. Barstow, the anus hole for the United States.
No, that's Oklahoma. Can you hand me the baking soda?
No. insulting my family.
No, your people got out of Oklahoma. Therefore, they escaped the anus. Your people are the shit.
No, I still have a lot of family there.
I'm sorry. Oklahoma's terrible. It's terrible to its people. It's terrible to its citizens. It's terrible. Miguel, how you doing, buddy?
Caesar salad. Message received. Hello, my dear brother. You burst. It smells there too. What is that smell? Oh. Oh. You know, Caesar salad is almost a good thing, except for I don't like Caesar dressing, personally. I know some people who love it. I don't know what it is about it. There's a funny.
I don't know anybody that loves Caesar dressing. I love Caesar dressing.
So we had fish tacos for dinner tonight.
Yes.
That he found a different recipe than what I wanted to try, but so I can't really complain because I was doing dishes while he was cooking. Anyway, part of the recipe calls for cilantro. I'm allergic to cilantro. It literally tastes like soap to me. I cannot eat anything with cilantro in it. It is awful because I love Indian food. That being said,
I have to be really careful what Indian food we get for her because so much of it uses cilantro.
Yeah, or when he does that, he'll get it for like nights that he knows I'm not going to be here, like because I'm in California, or he'll make something off to the side so that I can have a little bit. We got kind of used. And no, I've never been to Gary, Indiana.
I have Gary, Indiana. That's the other end of the bottle. Oh man, Gary, Indiana is terrible.
Is that the sphincter?
Oh, it's even worse.
The anus itself.
It's even worse. It's the actual colon. Because it smells like the colon. And the cops there will pull up to you if you're in the wrong neighborhood and be like,
just keep going.
Go through the red light. Just go. Don't be here.
Yay, somebody else who has my... It's so rare, but Dave, for me, I also can't eat certain peppers. It's awful. Like bell peppers, can't eat them. Cannot eat them. And he loves bell peppers. I can cook with them, no problem. I cannot eat them.
Stuffed peppers. They're the best.
I've been to Gary many, many times. Never got off the ship, but I've been there. Gary, there's nothing there. You know, I have some friends who actually, you don't go, you drive through. I have some friends who live about 45 minutes outside of it. That's where Kenny and them, Kenny's mom and brother live. They actually live in Gary, Indiana.
I'm so sorry.
They live further north.
That's so sad.
They live closer to the border.
That's really sad.
Yep, this is correct. You do not stop. Hi, Austin. Welcome, welcome. So anyway, but yes. How about you, lovely folks? Does anybody have any plans for Armies on Parade this year? I don't know if it's still going to be held, so I'm doing this as if it is. Besides, my tile is going to be part of a larger board eventually. So what about you guys? Who here is who plans on participating in Armies on Parade, and what is your idea? Oh, of course you did, Mike. Carnitas. Hola, dragons. Hello, Kaiju. Hi.
Hello, Big Rubber Monster.
I saw that anime. Very cool. Text me, Commodore, if that was towards us.
Yeah.
Anyway, Al, yeah, that is, and it's awful because you're trying to be polite and you try to eat anyway, and you're just like, God, this is awful. I'm gonna have to like upchuck when I'm done. So anyway, to explain what Armies on Parade, Al, it is a big thing that Games Workshop, GW, does every year, where you can create a board that is at max size, 2 feet by 2 feet.
You want to create a 2 foot by 2 foot board. You don't want to go smaller.
I did a 1 foot by 2 foot board last year because I designed it to sit on a shelf. It's about 2 inches too big, so it needs to be a little bit less than the 1 foot. Anyway, and what you do is oftentimes people will create these to showcase their army that they built this year, because there's this whole new year, new army. So every year is supposed to try to put together a new army. At least that's what marketing says you should do. Many people, like your brother, listen to it. I mean, he's building an orc army right now. Anyway, so you basically, and you try and find some way to showcase it in some way. Last year, Best in Show for us was a gentleman who did his
No,
Best in Show was this guy here.
I'm gonna say last year Best in Show was me.
I got Best First Time Painter, so yay! I'm never gonna get that again, but yay!
Yeah.
But there was somebody who got Best Theme.
He got Best Theme. He did an ocean board.
He made this ocean board, and he put these like rock formations out, and he had it designed so it looked like a group of beastmen.
He had a group of Ildeneth Deepkin attacking a boat filled with chaos guys in it.
Chaos Undivided. It was his war cry squad.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, you know,
That is a good point.
some independent retailers, if they don't have a GW store nearby,
Can participate.
if they're that's fair.
All right, Zane. Take care, honey.
We'll
We'll see you later.
a lot of local game stores, a lot of indie stores, especially with GW after like what they're doing this year. I mean, when this is all done with the whole COVID thing, they are that new figure that they created, the one that looks like Carl, for the Catchikins. So basically, the last 3 Catchikins, somebody put all 3 of the last Catchikins together. The 3 new figures they made.
It's the squad from Predator, isn't it?
Basically, well, it's the 2 guys and it's the chick from Aliens.
Ridley?
No. The Aliens 2 from Aliens. The Marine. Hey, Rodriguez, anyone ever confuse you for a man? No. Anybody ever confuse you? Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. That's the last 3 they've done. Have been these 3 guys. So it's a really cool looking squad.
That's actually really cool.
But the new guy, the big command leader with a power fist. That's about power fist on his hand. I took a close look at the model. GW Vasquez. Yeah, Vasquez. You're right. Thank you, Vasquez.
Game over, man.
Yeah.
Game over.
Vasquez. Anyway, yeah, that's what it is. Vasquez. That new figure, the one that they're making, they're not going to be selling it through Games Workshop. You will not be able to buy it. Is he dead?
Bill Paxton? Yeah, he died years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah, he died a couple of years ago.
From what?
I think he had a heart attack. Dude, that's Garrett from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I know. I didn't know
He passed away shortly after playing that role. That was
didn't
the last role he ever played.
I didn't realize he died.
Yeah, no.
It's a shame. He's a great guy.
He's a
Cool
wonderful
actor.
actor.
Anyhow.
An asshole so well.
Yeah.
Oh, surgery complications.
Yeah.
Okay.
Darn shame. Anyhow.
Thank you guys. I knew he'd passed away.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember how.
But they're not going to be selling that figure in stores. Well, they're not going to be selling it from GW stores. They're only going to be able to be sold by independent retailers. And the independent retailers are getting them for free. Obviously, there's going to be a limited number sent to each store, probably based on what kind of sales numbers they did based on what the sales numbers they do for GW. But basically, that only way you're going to get that figure is going to your local game store. Game Universe for us. And to get one.
That's okay.
I don't play Catchikin. I'm still going to probably get him. I don't play Catchikins. but I'll still probably get one.
Does anybody actually play Catchikins?
Yeah, actually, they're one of the more Catchikin.
Isn't that the one that Sly Marbo's a member of?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the thing. He's a cool figure. He's a Catchikin jungle fighter. I don't play Catchikins because I play Cadians, and my Imperial Guard are mainly Cadians. But I would get him just to run him as a company commander, just a company commander because he's a good looking figure. So I'm all about it. But I like the fact that GW is actually looking out for independent stores with this and going to use this as an opportunity to strengthen some relationships. So I'm kind of excited by that.
Oh my God, somebody else remembers that movie. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Paxton's been in a lot of stuff.
Man, I grew up watching Weird Science, so that should tell you something about my age. And yeah. That and Bill and Ted and all that other crazy ass crap. I never realized until somebody pointed out to me that Chet was Bill Paxton. And I love Bill Paxton. Still do to this day.
So Twin Butcherkins.
I loved him
Pretty
in the
nice.
movie Twister, let me tell you though.
You love the movie Twister.
Hells yes. The tornadoes are coming to get us. Well, fuck, we're all doomed. Wait, I thought you were supposed to be helping us.
Yeah, actually I'm familiar with that story. And that's the thing. The Catchikins have great they've got great lore behind them and great story behind them. And the rules aren't bad if you're playing that sort of Imperial Guard army. The problem is that for Catchikins, you're playing a heavy infantry army with some supporting firepower.
Who apparently determines who's in charge by who's got the biggest might.
My Imperial Guard is lots of armor, lots of firepower, just overwhelming firepower. So,
did you know that Vulcan and Corvus are have recruited a bunch of Catchikin fighters to help them in their fight to get back to Terra and save their father from Magnus the Red? Seriously, it's the Bromark's side trip. They ended up in Catchikan, and Corvix got saved by Sly Marbo.
Sly Marble.
And he didn't say a damn word. He just showed up, saved his ass, bowed to him, and left.
I actually want a Sly Marble figure because he's just a great looking figure.
I love the fact that it looks like he's got an Audrey, isn't it the name of the?
No, that's not Sly Marble. That's just the new Catchikan jungle fighter
that
figure.
was a Sly Marbo. He's got one that's sitting on the ground, curled around a TNT thing, about to go down.
No, that's not Sly Marble.
You want to bet?
I thought that was just the new
that's Sly.
Catchikan. Okay.
I remember looking at the pictures going, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And oh my God, he has a little pyro helper. And they're like, no, he's about to kill him. I go, in your world, to me? Catchikan Kill Team. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Well, that's the funny thing. It's two guys. It's Bill Paxton, and I can't remember the name of the other actor, but the other actor went on to do a lot of B-rolls. He's a big blonde German bruiser. If you ever watched the vampire TV show that they briefly had, where they based it on Vampire the Masquerade in
I know who you're talking about now.
The one that they did based in San Francisco, he played the Bruja Primarch.
And you know what the best part about that show was? If you ever wanted to get hammered, watch an episode, and if you're familiar with what the Masquerade rules are, you take a shot every single time you see a violation of the Masquerade. You are hammered within 15 minutes of the episode starting.
Man.
It was such a interesting.
And a lot of fun.
It was.
Ah.
I'm just like, wow, breach. That was another breach. holy shit, that's a breach. Where's the Sabat when you need them? Holy crap. How are these assholes still alive? Oh god, their prince isn't much better. And the guy who played Julian died, and they decided to just stop the show.
Yeah.
Even though they had such an opening to have easily...
It was a terrible show. It was getting terrible ratings.
God, it was an awful show. It was so awful. Oh my god.
You know the worst thing about it is? You have the entire thing on DVD.
Yeah, I've seen it. If I want to watch a show that's been discontinued, I'm going to watch Firefly.
If I want to watch a show that's been discontinued, I'm going to watch Lush Life.
Yes, that's right. He played Shao Kahn. He's done a lot of, I'm the big scary man roles.
Brian Thompson, that's his name. All right, yeah. He's hilarious. It's just funny looking at some of these guys.
Apparently, he's an absolute goober in real life.
Most people are. Dog will.
The show was so trash.
Yeah, it was. It was horrible. But Lush Life. Now, you talk about canceled TV shows that were great. Lush Life. The main two stars were Karen Parsons, who was, if everybody remembers the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it was Hillary, the dumb sister.
Yeah.
And she was teamed up with her roommate, who was played by Lori Petty. And they were two roommates. Karen Parsons was the smart marketing person, and Lori Petty was the eclectic weirdo artist. That they shared an apartment over a bar. That show died horribly. But had it not died, it wouldn't have led to
becoming Hillary.
No, it came after that. But that was the people that created that show who created the show of
Two Girls in a Pizza Place.
No, the four girls that all kind of lived together.
Sex and the City.
No. You got to think. It's an urban show. And one of them's like the lawyer, and she's got the guy upstairs that she hates, but the two of them are in a relationship, and one's really super wholesome, and she's like the dumb janitor.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name. Sister? Was that the name of it?
Sister was the one with Tia and Tamara, where they were separated at birth and ended up.
It was one of those kind of shows, but that was the producers would have led to that one.
Anyway, yeah.
We're an hour into the show. I've already drank way too much rum, so we're gonna quick give a shout out to all our tanker Lori Petty. She was also in League of Their Own. But quick shout out to all our patrons as we're 1 hour into the show. So we got at our Battle Brother level, we have Mini Warmutt and Inquisitor Zane. We have our Battle Leader level. We have Heinrich Botha and Joe Bookish. And we have our 3 Warlord levels. We have Master Modeler, also known as Alex Drake. We have James Meeks. And we have our admin, our Smash Captain, coming in with the phalanx from the sky, the Commodore.
I love it when you say that, opening warm up, because you know what that makes me think of? Tom Hiddleston.
Say my name!
If you've never seen Tom Hiddleston hijacking the convention for Thor: The Dark World, you need to. It was great.
It's hilarious. So thank you all, you guys. Yeah, you guys really make this all possible. I'm so thankful. I cannot put into just mere words how thankful I am to all of you. And everybody that's here in the show too. I don't want to think that just because they give me money, I'm more thankful to them. I'm super thankful to them because they think they give me money. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a man. I like money, but no. In realistic, what that means is that pays for supplies. It pays for things like a bottle of Vallejo vehicle wash, which I heard some really good reviews on, and I wanted to try out because we're running low on oil, and I heard this stuff is actually better, so I wanted to give it a shot. Probably our next purchase will be a bottle of photo curing resin because our bottle's almost empty.
Maybe the damn thing will get shut off for a bit. It's been running nonstop.
Not if I bang the same.
I'm not looking forward to seeing that bill.
What?
The power bill.
Yeah. It doesn't use that much power. It really doesn't.
So, anyway.
Says the one who's on her phone all the time.
That's because
we don't have any data left. Maybe you weren't playing your damn video game all the damn time.
Hey, guess what? I'm not on yours. Hi, Meeks. We just talked about you.
Mr. Meeks. Good.
And that little passive aggressive crap doesn't really work because I'm not even on your plan. And we have unlimited data now, and I wasn't the one who was causing most of my time. That vehicle wash is gold.
I'll be giving it a shot. I actually have
some
orc walkers to finish up with, and I'm gonna be using that to wash them down and make them look all grimy.
If anybody else as scared as I am when he does that.
We were talking about you. I just gave a shout out to all my Patreons, Mr. Meeks, and as you're one of my newest patrons, I want to make sure you say your name because I am super thankful to you. But I am super thankful to everybody that shows up for our show. Yeah, our Tuesday show is kind of a silly thing, and things are kind of a little off topic this week because there's not a lot of news going on. So it's more about doing the hobby, having the hobby, and hanging out with our friends. And you know what? That's okay. You know, I can see you in the screen. You behave? You gonna behave?
Smash the like key.
Yeah, smash that like button. I've got 11 people in here and only 5 of you like this show. I'm sorry that I've disappointed the other 6 of you so badly. In other news, that's actually some other stuff. What I want to do is I want to use some of that hobby money to actually get some of these Icky Interactive. Vallejo's got a couple different washers I've been wanting to try. I actually have something that I really want to use that my brother gave me.
Did you lick the like button?
Yeah.
Is it yours, Aim? Is it yours now, Dave?
Actually, I want to show this because I haven't had a chance to actually use it. I'm going to be using it on these leaders. That's me. My lovely brother Al.
Orma, you're telling me you haven't quite figured out that
got me a set of this stuff. It's called Rust and Dust. And basically it's a 4-step process that you apply this wash, then you apply the wash of dust 2, then you do the clear flat of the 3, and then the dust it in the number 4, and it turns a nice clean looking vehicle into something all rusty and dusty and really roughed up looking. This is from Micromark. He gave this to me a while ago. I just haven't really had a model that I really wanted to try it on. And now I've got these orc vehicles and I want to make them look all roughed up and janky because my orcs are based out of a junkyard. My whole story for them is that they've basically, the planet that they landed on is basically a former imperial trash world, basically a recycling center that the Imperial would send all their trash there, and it would be put in these recombobulators and converted back into useful materials. But, you know, eventually the population died out because, you know, that's what happens on Imperial worlds. So, oh no, show's not ending. You got at least 15 minutes. I'm feeling great. We're probably on for a bit.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. Well, see, you don't normally do that shout out until the end.
No, I do it at the 1 hour mark.
No, only when we do live streams.
Oh, okay. Well,
this is what I said when I said he's been drinking.
No, we're not ending. We just still got time. Shit, I'm going to probably still be on another 45 minutes. I wasn't planning on ending anytime soon.
There you guys are.
I got a print going on right now that I'm not going anywhere until it's done. Haven't said another print name. So anyhow, my whole idea behind my orcs is that these orcs basically their spores landed on and they started generating on this planet that's basically a giant junkyard. I was doing it at 1 hour mark. I was planning on doing it at the end as well. I'm
They're
sorry.
used to you doing it on these shows.
You know why that is? Because Mini Warma doesn't show up for most of my live streams then. When we do our efforts, I'll do it live, where I do that every hour.
And you don't normally do them when we do these.
You're right, I don't. And I should, because I want people to know how thankful I am for them. Because people are awesome.
The people of our community.
The people of our community are awesome. Let's be that way about it.
There are some people, though.
No, I'm not backtracking nothing, Minnie. I'll have at you, man. I'll have at you.
I told you. He's had a bit to drink.
So
I feel. You guys see this? He's getting violent with me. He's getting handsy. Okay, back to the bench. Don't worry. We'll let you know when we say your name again.
Yeah. No, you'll know. So yeah, I mean, so this junkyard, I'm working on the board for this. I'm building a bunch of terrain for it. I'm building some scrapyard terrain to go with it. Because I want to make this whole place just look like a freaking mess. So there it is. I mean, that's what we're doing. So I want to, that goes back to the whole point, is that I want to use some of the AK Interactives. They want you to blink twice if you need help. He's so cute. Look at these cute ears. They're the cutest ears ever. She can't even be mad at me. She loves the attention.
I admit to nothing.
Are you building a fire on him? Because it looks great.
It's the same one as everybody else.
Well, he looks better than the other ones too.
She.
And she looks better.
Really?
Yeah.
Christ.
That means you're getting better at it.
No, that means I gotta go back and do the others.
No, you don't have to go back and do the others. You can. How dare you get better at what you do?
Is that for the airbrush, or can it be used with a regular brush?
It's actually brush on. It's not for the airbrush.
I actually have a question. Weatherpig, if you're still in here, I saw you using some pigment dust. I have never really
You've never used pigment dust?
No, and I was kind of curious if anybody in here has, and pros and cons of them.
Hey, Al, why don't you explain pigment dust? Because he uses it all the time.
Okay. Yes, please, my brother. Explain.
Pigment dust is awesome. The problem is it rubs off if you don't do something to seal it in place.
Well, yeah, I know that part. Because I saw Spud use some of it too.
Yeah, no, so some awesome terrain made from a large airplane. Yes. Like I said, this junkyard I've got some pieces that I'm actually going to be printing up. I found some wrecked Imperial Gothic starship pieces that are meant for rain. I'm thinking about printing a couple of them up if my printer can handle them, because I really want this chunk. Yeah, no, this stuff is from Micromark. If my brother suggested it to me, then I'm telling you it's good stuff. I can just I can just say, hey, Helcha, what's up, my man?
There you are. Hello, yeah. My brother.
If my brother recommended it to me, I can tell you it's really good stuff. Mix it with isopropyl alcohol, make a wash, and seal the hell out of it. That's another way to use pigments.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
I've never used them. I keep seeing it. It's like with this bus that I have, that my darling husband gave me, I've actually been thinking about best ways to do it. You can make it from chalk.
Yeah, I made it before. Remember?
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I didn't like it because I got the wrong. I didn't get dark enough chalk.
Okay. So with her, I've been trying to figure out what would be the best way. I never use that kind of stuff, and I see some beautiful effects with things like that to make it, kind of look dusty and stuff like that. And then I'm also debating on whether or not I'm going to do my patent, under brush of grays, blacks, and whites and non-oil, and then just use ink on her. I don't know.
I think you should paint her next. That'd be cool. But you can use airbrush for a lot of that too.
No, but I can use the airbrush at least for the zenithal effect and the blacks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I can use the airbrush for a good chunk of it, especially with her hair, considering the idea that I'm thinking about doing with her hair is pigment dust adds controlled weathering to whatever it is applied. It can be applied with a brush, a sponge to surfaces. It also can be suspended in a fluid and washed across the surfaces.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I see all these wonderful techniques, but
you see it. It's really starting to come into vogue in miniature painting now. If you really want to see it being used, looking into model railroading and into model building, you see it used a lot.
Really, makeup powder?
Yeah. If you just want to make it look dusty.
Oh, cool!
Just use a skin tone. It's a dust color.
I never even thought about that. That's really cool. My dear brother, child, I don't want to hear nothing until you paint those figures you showed me pictures of. I want to see the Eclipse Stalkers painted! Or I am going to, I don't know, I will threaten you with I don't know.
Dude,
to steal them from you.
I've got an axe that I printed. I shouldn't be painting it before you do. Tamiya weathering cups provide a small makeup brush.
Okay.
There you go. So yeah, we should look at if you really want to look into powders, we can try that. I mean,
I would very much like that. Actually, very much, Al. As soon as I know that I'm not going to potentially introduce a virus that may kill you and your beautiful wife, because I love you both so very, very much. That is literally the only reason
that is literally the first opportunity when they unlock stuff down. Just so it's said that you have all these witnesses. As soon as the lockdown's removed here, we're coming and seeing you. And
provided I'm not working 2 jobs at the time.
Yeah.
I know you. I know. I still want to see them painted, or at least primed. It's okay, man.
Just giving you crap, hell child. You know we love you.
If I don't give you crap, that means I don't like you.
So yeah, she's so excited about this thing, and it's a beautiful model. Show them the shield. That shield.
I mean, I have this in so many different pieces because I want to make sure. Because I mean, look at the detail on that. You can see where my studs were. So, none of these guys are primed yet. I want to pick.
They were used exclusively in model railroading, then they've worked their way. And you see, that's the funny thing when you look at modeling as a whole.
And now minis.
Yeah, it's really funny when you look at the evolution of painting. Railroading was the big deal. I mean, railroading, people were there going for realism, like really going for crazy realism, and they were using pigments and all that stuff. And then modeling was coming in, and it was really clean at first. And then they started using all that stuff. What?
None.
What'd you put her on?
Mike, I love you because you are the one who has pushed me and pushed me and pushed me in my painting. And yeah, I don't see you enough to give you a hard time. So
this was freshly primed an hour ago. She's really getting this orange flame detail down. So So that's the thing. It's funny because, and it went from railroading to modeling, and now you're seeing miniature painting. Like when I got into miniature painting 30 years ago, if you look at the models that were popular and the paint styles that were popular back in the late 80s and early 90s, they were cartoony. They were bright, bold colors. You didn't see a lot of blending. You might see some freehanding, but everything was about these bright, bold colors with big highlights, and they were very comic booky and cartoony looking. And the push for realism has happened as time has gone on. And it's funny, as the push has gone forward, you're seeing muted colors become more of the palette, and then more realistic colors become part of the palette. And then people are using more and more tools. And that's the interesting thing, as you look at it, a lot of these tools that have come across from other modelings are working their way in. And for somebody that started in the hobby that way, I started off doing model railroading with my brother, and then I was doing models, and I was getting into modeling, and then I got away from modeling and got directly into miniature painting and terrain building. And I was using stuff that I was learning from when I was doing it for model railroading. And I started using some of the techniques that my brother had taught me for model painting on my models. And people were like, that looks wild. And that's the thing. I've never been an amazing or really stunning painter. But what I've done is that I've used these techniques to make things kind of jump out at people. And now it's kind of like, after getting away from it for 20 years and coming back and seeing some stuff people do, people that are considered intermediate and okay painters on the internet, and going, holy crap. I mean, you look at these top end painters, and they're painting photorealistic skin tones, and OSL has come a whole art in and of itself.
That's my next challenge.
And some of the stuff you see with people doing painting translucentness, it's like painting translucent
I'm going to learn
cloth.
how to do that.
Yeah, Luke Towan is amazing, and he just goes into and the thing is, it's what's crazy about Luke Towan, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, he's not doing anything that the average person can't do.
He's just been doing it for so long that I am really looking forward to, Mike, you and I should, sorry, just real quick.
No, go ahead.
I'm trying to remember who it was, but somebody in our Discord showed me this tutorial thing. I'll have to go back and find it and share it with you, of how to practice OSL. And I'll get you it, and maybe you and I can, next month, we'll grab some, toss away cheap ass figures, and we'll work on that one together.
Object source lighting, where you're actually having light reflect and change the colors of the way you see the figure. And here's the thing about Luke Towan, he's not doing anything the average person can't do. He's not doing anything the normal person can't do. And it's not that he's doing stuff that's mind-blowingly hard. He's doing very simple techniques, but he's performing them with such perfect accuracy and layering perfect technique on top of perfect technique on top of perfect technique that he gets amazing results. And he's using, and the nice thing about his videos, yeah, a lot of people, I've actually heard people, and I want to slap them for it, I've heard people complain because his videos are so long. They're 45-minute videos. But if you actually go through and you watch his videos from beginning to end, he teaches techniques that if you turn around and did that in a miniature sense, and you built terrain, and you built a combat board using his techniques, if you had people come over and play on that board, they would look at you like, this is art. What are we doing playing on this freaking thing? Because he does such amazing but simple work, but he just does it so perfectly. And he even, one of the micromark, and that's the whole thing. It's about using the right tools. He uses micromark tools. He stands by the tools and he uses them properly. And he explains in his videos how to use the tools properly, why he uses them, what he's doing with them. He does really, really incredible work, but it's not because he's doing something really hard and making it look simple. He's doing basics, but he's doing it to a perfect level. It's hard to explain, but he has this perfect eye for where to apply the simplest of techniques. Luke is one of the big three that I look forward to their tutorials specifically because they attack topics and do crazy things. Between Luke Towen, Mel the Terrain Tutor, who is an absolute god. I mean, again, he does simple techniques, but he makes wargaming terrain that is phenomenal. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this time to add in just a little bit of an addendum that when I attempted to do a game board like the way that Luke Towen does, somebody told me it was a waste of time because you couldn't do a full table of them and don't bother. Apparently that only applies to me. Or do I have to remind you of the one that I had originally started designing last year and you're like, no, you can't do that.
You're not going to have time for that. It wasn't you can't do it because you can't do it. It's you can't do it
Not yet.
because you don't have time to do it. If you do not have the skills, huh?
Hell, child, keep talking.
You didn't have the time to do the terrain you wanted to try and do in the month we had before the contest.
Okay, let's see where we at. Excuse me. Here you go.
Yeah, Mel, the Terrain Tutor, is a freaking legend. Now, that's very cool. I dig it.
He's having a bunch of these printed.
Very cool. Very awesome. Now, here's the other thing. There is a third one. Not as well known, but his tutorials, he's another railroader. He actually is specifically a railroad terrain guy. But holy crap. He's funny. He's funny to watch, and he uses simple techniques and uses simple materials to get amazing techniques. So if you've never heard of or you've never looked into Marklin of Sweden, Marklin, the train company of Sweden, that's the name of the channel. I forget the guy's name that runs it. He runs tutorials. And he has a tutorial on making water. And instead of pouring resin and pouring layer upon layer upon layer of thick resin, his water is 5 layers of toilet paper, a couple layers of clear acrylic gloss coat, and then some Mod Podge, and then some clear acrylic over the top of that. Or another way, it's toilet paper, Mod Podge, paint, and then clear acrylic coat.
I was actually thinking about using that exact same technique to do the lava
on
my board.
Yeah.
But then, because of the fact that the lava was the entire thing, I thought that was just a little bit too much.
But yeah, I mean, he has an entire tutorial on doing water and doing waves at a waterfront. And instead of having to have a 2-inch gap to make sure you have enough room for your resin and all this stuff, he just sits down with toilet paper, with a brush, and he paints like a 3-foot length of it. And he does it in a day or two. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And he also he shows how to do weathering for buildings. He does a tutorial on doing graffiti. He does a tutorial on doing on doing simple mountainsides and rocky terrain. Yeah, Markland of he's the third guy. Those three guys, if you can watch the three of them and if you can sit through their videos, you will learn a ton, and they will teach you some amazing techniques that if you can turn around, because all three of them teach durable techniques. The funniest thing of the three of them, the least durable of the three of them is Luke Towan, because he's building his entirely for display. So he uses a lot of static grass. And honestly, to gamers, static grass can get easily chewed up if you're running miniatures all over a board. Which is why, you know, foam flock, I believe, is the way to go. But I mean, if you could use his techniques for static grass. Honestly, one of the things I thought about using was doing some bases. I had an idea for doing a set of bases for one of my armies to look like they're walking through like the Great Plains. So they're like knee deep in golden grass everywhere they go. So if I can give a shout out to those three channels, I mean, Mel was one of the guys that convinced me that I could do this, because he's just there trying to teach people how to make terrain. And that's what I started off doing. And that's what I still want to do. I got a terrain tutorial coming up this weekend. That's in the can, ready to go. So I'll be teaching people how to make some new terrain for your battle board. Terrain is what gets me going. I paint miniatures because I enjoy painting miniatures. I build terrain because I think it looks good. And having a good board makes a game. Having a crappy board can make a bad board can make a game, can make even what should be a good game really bad. What?
I was trying to figure out why I'm smelling alcohol, and I realized that thing's open.
Was it open? Oh,
yeah.
That's not good. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing. I've been spreading. I know I've talked about him a lot lately, but Plasmo. I've been going back and rewatching his tutorials on chipping and doing stuff, because again, I want to make my orc vehicles look really beat all the hell up and look like they're really super kit bashed. And Plasmo does some really great things. Herbert Herperderp is another really great resource for that. I don't know if I have sent it, Dave. Is that if it's a video? Honestly, I watched so many videos. I'm not sure if I've seen it, but I probably have if it's on your channel. But I'll gladly go back and look at it again, because
He likes watching videos over and over.
that's all I do.
You can do it. If my brother Al can do it, you can do it, man.
Mike, hang on. Before you use Luke's chain link, because I don't know what he did, I'm actually going to point you at my channel. I have a tutorial.
Check them out.
I have a tutorial on doing chain link that is ridiculously simple and looks really, really good. So check my terrain tutorials
Just
videos.
to make sure
It's not the same thing, because I'm telling you, my chain link fence is
easy,
super easy, and it looks. I'm gonna blow my own horn here. It looks damn good.
It's quick, it's easy, and it's cheap. However, my personal thing here is not to knock Luke, because his stuff is
No,
great.
Luke's awesome. I
Look
love
at them both and see which technique would probably suit you better.
Is it Gasland scale? It can be. It can totally be Gasland scale.
Just take a look and see which one you think might be easier and for you to build. As for you, Mini Warmutt, you can do it. If my brother Al can do it, so can you. Styrene poles. What's a styrene?
Styrene plastic. I didn't go with styrene, honestly, because at that scale, styrene is super wobbly. I actually went with I went with barbecue skewers.
Which currently Walmart is selling them for under $100 per pound.
I used. I ended up using cut down pieces of
Barbecue skewers.
barbecue skewers, and then for my chain link, I used tulle.
That he doused in Mod Podge.
I doused in Mod Podge and then spray painted it silver, and you weather it, and you got chain link, and it looks good. It looks.
The basing he uses is a tongue depressor.
Well, that's because I was doing small modular ones, but you could do it in any scale like that. Here's the thing. I have found recently, because my eyesight has been noticeable. I've been wearing my magnifiers almost all the time nowadays, and with my sausage fingers. What I've been I want to get my hands on a couple of surgical forceps, because you can get rubber tip surgical forceps that don't jack up the tips. So they don't jack up the piece they clip on, and then you can use them to kind of hold pieces in place. I'm learning patience, something I have almost always struggled with when it comes to building. Harbor Freight, we have Menards. I mean, we can get to Harbor Freight, but we have Menards.
Menards is closer.
Menards is right down the street, and get one of my clamps.
Where are they?
They should be in the tools drawer.
Hold on.
Okay, well, I got some of these, but I also got some squeezy clamps. Yeah, that's them. Been learning the power of clamps. I got a set of these little bitty ones. Using brass rod rather than styrene, yes, I would agree. I'm a fan, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I've been learning patience, and these clamps have been helping. I'm used to like, hold it. Oh, it's fine. Okay, we're going. Putting things under the clamp and then walking away. That's a new one for me. She'll even tell you that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm all about getting it done.
Oh, are you gonna show them it?
So I gotta do a little bit of filing work on it. I still gotta do some sanding and some filing work on it. But
I still maintain you should put duct tape.
I'm gonna be putting some duct tape on it.
Doesn't it look like it should be held together by duct tape?
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'll be muttering. Like I said, I built this thing, and this thing was just, it's 5 pieces. This is a simple 5 printed piece kit. And man, I was freaking mad building this thing, and there's still this horrible gap, so I got to go through it. I still got a bunch of stuff I have to sand, and I put putty on, and I got to go in and sand this stuff down. Putty should be finally. I'm a huge fan of Milliput, but the amount I had to use on this freaking piece was criminal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use some on my guys. You can use clothespins on the
Clamp wings, yeah. I know. I remember that trick, Al. I remember you doing that.
Glad you remembered something he taught you.
I remember a lot of what he taught me.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Are you positive?
I'm absolutely positive.
Only fools are positive.
No. Are you certain? Only fools are certain. You know what he did teach me?
You just totally missed the line.
No, it's the. Are you positive? Are you certain?
No.
You got to do the.
It's not.
You got to. It's the third one.
No, Batty never said the third one. He said, "Are you I'm fine. Are you sure? I'm positive. Only fools are positive. Are you sure? I'm positive." It's from freaking.
You know what else he taught me?
To tune out women. You know what he taught me? Can I show them what he taught me how to deal with you? Oh, really? Vallejo has a plastic putty.
I'll have to look at that. I wish there was a store around here that carried more of Vallejo stuff that we could get to on a regular basis. Unfortunately, the hobby store by us only carries a limited amount of some Vallejo stuff. We can go to the gaming store, but it's been closed. So actually, the hobby store is closed now too. I unfortunately, I'm a big fan of trying to buy locally when I can, but unfortunately, Amazon has become my go-to for a lot of stuff.
You and the rest of America.
Which I'm not entirely happy about.
Amazon is.
I mean, that's why when our local gaming store had noticed that they were selling things, they're not opening a store, but you could order things and they will meet you at the door and give them to you. We jumped at that chance to buy some stuff.
Yes, we did.
But I'm really actually become a very big fan of Milliput.
I'm a little more interested in the other stuff because I know I'm going to need it.
Well, we'll see if we can get some.
Because unfortunately, my bus has
a couple of small gaps.
There's some gaps in it that need to be filled in and whatnot. And I was half thinking about that or attempting to use what DM Scotty had.
That wouldn't work as a putty, though, the more I think about that. Although I do want to build some just so we can have some fun with it.
Oh my gosh, I can just imagine the fun we'd have with that stuff.
So you'll probably see us using it sometime soon. We're going to be making some porcelain.
We will probably make a video of it so that we can share the recipe and making sure that we give DM Scotty his due. I don't know where he got it, but so I need to try and get my hands on some plastic putty from Vallejo. All right. As I'm a Boris Vallejo girl, I've got a book in the room full of nothing but his art. Whew, I love that man. He's like my idol. I have no problem supporting his brand. Friends, hobbies, and Kenosha. Call ahead. He'll get everything curbside. He carries Mig Ammo, Vallejo, and others. And once he's open again, he will be.
He hosts gaming.
Oh, cool.
Friends, hobbies, and Kenosha. We'll have to check that out. It's a little bit of a drive for us, but you know, it's all about local. You know.
Kenosha's down south, isn't it? Past in Racine County.
Yeah, just past Racine County.
Okay.
Kenosha County. It's on the border there.
I probably know who Frank is. Boris is the one whose name I remember the easiest. There's a couple of within that particular genre that I am just, oh my God, I love their art so much.
Actually, she knows who Frank Frazetta is. She has one of his books in our room. She just doesn't realize it.
Oh, is that who that is?
That book with the guy on the cover and the girl draped behind him.
Yeah.
It's a Conan cover. That's Frank Frazetta.
Okay, then I've got a book that's got a bunch of his stuff in it.
Because that's my book, because I'm a Frank Frazetta fan.
Well, I have a book. I have another book that was given to me that covers a lot of the artists within that particular genre.
Yeah.
And there's a huge chapter just on him.
Yeah, Boris Vallejo, Frank Frazetta.
Well, I had heard some people like swear by green stuff. I've had some people swear by Milliput. Now I'm getting the Vallejo plastic putty. So and
they have different uses.
As I'm still so new.
Yeah, here's the thing. Green stuff and Milliput are basically the same kind of thing. The base, at least. Although they're made from different materials. I personally like Milliput because it's less sticky when you're working it.
And you can. That's the reason why DM Scotty suggests lotion. Put lotion on your hands beforehand. I may not do a lot of this stuff.
But yeah, to me, fighter plane.
It looks like it's backwards to me, frankly.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't understand. There's the input.
I don't understand why it seems like it's backwards to me, but it does, and leave me alone because I'm just going, oh, look, it's orc engineering. Leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not saying I don't like green stuff. I got used to using Milliput early on, and I like the way Milliput works, and I like the way it sands and it finishes. I'm just a big fan of it, and it's a lot cheaper. Although, apparently, I just found out that there's a plumbing equivalent of green stuff. There's a name for it, so you can buy it in gigantic containers at like hardware stores, and it's super cheap buying it that way. I got to find the name of it.
Plumber's Buddy?
No, it's the same exact stuff. It's got a brand name. But it's green stuff. It's made for plumbers, and it's a 2-part epoxy, and it's green stuff. It's green stuff, but it comes in like 1-gallon jugs. You basically get 2 half-gallon containers. You take a piece out and do. I mean, if we were to start doing green stuff bases like crazy with a roller or two, because that's the other thing I want to print.
Yeah, I want a roller so bad.
I want to print some. That's probably one of the next projects. I'm going to go looking for rollers again and print some rollers on the printer. But yeah. So I got this thing and I printed it out, and it looks hilarious.
You realize it's in the wrong scale.
Well, that's the whole thing. In the instructions on the site where I downloaded it from, in the summary I downloaded from, they're like, yeah, I built this thing, I created it, it looks really cool. If you want to print it at the same size as a DACajet, you got to build it at 200%.
You didn't read that until afterwards.
Well, I can't print 200%. This thing, because of how long the fuselage is, unless I wanted to print it upright, so I'd print it from nose to tail, which would take months to print on that thing. Or maybe not. I'd have to think. I have to check that out. But that would be a DACajet. So instead, when I'm playing with my friends, I'm going to use this as a Grot scrapjet. So it's a proxy for use it as a proxy for a Defcopter. So it's a little Defcopter. It's a little tiny, not so fast. Yeah, rollers are nice, man. Rollers let you do some pretty cool things. If you can get a hold of a good roller, you can do some pretty cool stuff.
I blame Rob at TMP for me desperately wanting one.
I'll blame Jeremy at Black Magic Craft because he started doing stuff with rollers a while ago, and it looks pretty freaking cool.
Oh no, I say that because of the 2 bases that I got.
Right, and that was the thing. I saw Jeremy using it first, and I'm like, oh god, I want that. And then I saw Rob doing it, and yeah, I mean,
the want became a need.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a Grot sized aircraft, so it's just going to be a stand-in for a Defcopter, since the only Defcopter models are metal nowadays. Officially, you can't even get the plastic ones anymore. It's like whatever. It's a Defcopter. Nobody I play with is going to give a crap. Most people I play with are cool. I don't know anybody that I play with that's a jerk. I really don't. I mean, everybody I play this game with is so awesome.
Yeah. I was trying to think of who I can say that sarcastically. Yes. Oh my gosh. Green stuff.
I bought their punches. Their punches are amazing. I want their leaf puncher, actually. They have a puncher that you can basically put anything in and punch it, and it comes out with leaves. So you can take real leaves and put them in there and punch them out, and you get little leaves, and they're the right colors and the right stuff. And you can use that for putting it on your bases and putting it on your terrain. Or somebody did a really cool thing where they took tissue paper and they just took inks and wash inked. They just wash inked all through the tissue paper, So it was these natural swirled earthy colors. And then just went to town with the leaf puncher and punched out piles of leaves for foliage and scatter on their board. It looked great. And seeing as that we're going to be working on some terrain, that's set in territory for my for my game.
Yes, similar to a scrapbook.
Yeah, it's a well, it's a scrapbooking punch. It's the same size scrapbooking punch, but when it punches like 8 leaves at a time, or 3 or 4, depending on which size punch you have. But yeah, it's just like the scrapbooking punches. But the leaves it punches out are the size of 2-scale miniature leaves. So, is there anything in there right now?
No.
Yeah. Hey, when you guys come over this weekend, I'll show you. I will introduce you to Green Stuff World. What?
It's like it's bright, shining on me.
You could use the light. It's UV.
Are you trying to say I'm pale?
The fires of Gondor are lit!
I don't have that much skin, Shelly, right now. Yes, my husband's an ass.
The punches are great when they take forever to get enough. Yeah, and that's you don't understand. I could sit there and watch videos and do that stuff mindlessly. She's seeing me do it.
Mike, one of these days, if I feel so inclined, we'll pull it down again so you can see the schoolhouse that he built, where he put the walls up and then went and cut green, the purple stuff,
Pink foam,
into tiny itty bitty scale size
1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch bricks.
And then the shingles.
The schoolhouse is
2 feet.
20 inches by 20 inches, and it's 2 stories.
Don't start, Dave. Seriously.
Yeah, they do. Gondor calls raid.
I hate you all.
Yeah, no, I can do mindless stuff like that. That's why I have 2-hour music playlists or video playlists, because I can do stuff with my hands if I've got like a routine going and just and while I'm watching something. Those leaf punches are amazing. And for camouflage netting, they does work really good. Al, you can tell me. I've actually had somebody show me they were using gauze, using medical gauze as camouflage netting, and I thought it looked really good. So I thought that was a pretty cool effect. For chain link fencing, I was like, brilliant.
Please wait while we read section.
Whoa. Yes, for the smaller scales. Yeah. Oh, all right, my wonderful friends and family. We are at the 2-hour mark. It is now 9:30. So we are once again going to give a shout out to all our patrons.
This is not us apparently ending yet.
This is ending. We are coming up to the
okay. I just wanted to know.
It's 9:30. So we're going to give one last shout out to all our lovely patrons. Again, at our Battle Brother level, we have Inquisitor Zane. We have Mini War Mutt. He's not an atomic dog. He's a Mini War Mutt. We have our battle leader levels. We have Heinrich Botha, and we have Joe Bookish, and we have our 3 warlord levels. We have my lovely brother, the amazing master modeler, Alex Drake. We have James Smash Captain Meeks, and we have high in orbit aboard the Phalanx, bringing the banhammer, our lovely admin, the Commodore. I want to say thank you to all 7 of you. I want to say thank you to all 9 of you in our chat with us tonight. Again, everybody, if you could, hit that like button if you found me at all entertaining. I appreciate it. It also lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job will send people my way. It is because of people like you and because of the things that you have done for me and the things that you have said and the things you have commented that we have crossed the 500 likes. We are 1 week away from doing that drawing. So, I want all of you, if you have not as of yet, go to my 500 subscriber video. Go ahead and hit that like on it. Put your comment in there. Watch the video. Look for what I'm giving away. Put your comments in there. Remember that I've got 2 drawings. One for those of you that have channels. One for those of you that are just awesome people that watch my show. I have people all over the world. Heinrich Botha is from South Africa. Kaiji Shorts and the Weather Pig are both from Australia. I have friends in England. I have friends in Germany. I have friends all over the world. And I find it amazing that we can connect together on this simple platform called YouTube. And it just lets me share my love of this game. You know, I forgot to bring it downstairs. I actually have a box set up for you upstairs. Stuff. I forgot to bring it.
And Arizona, baby. Honey, that's not considered a separate part of the
That's
world.
part of the United States. I mean, it's
No.
part of the United States. We don't talk about it too much, but it's in the United States. I will make sure, Al, I have that box here so I can give it to your lovely daughter when I see her on Saturday. But you will see a video from us later this week on some terrain that we are building. We will definitely be doing at least one.
Mike, you can still enter.
Yeah, I got some great stuff for everybody involved. We also we will be having at least one F, and I'll do it live later this week. With me not working, probably be a daytime one some point this week while I'm doing a build. It'll probably just be a, hey, I'm building and painting. I'm going to turn on the camera and talk to people while we're doing it. And I think that's all we got right now. I love all of you.
Very much.
Appreciate you all. I appreciate you guys so much. Bottom of my heart, you guys really, you make my day. You make my week. Times are tough. Life is rough. And you guys make every day so much brighter for me by making me feel like this little bit of knowledge I have to show and this little bit of fun I have to share with the world, that you're willing to soak it up. So thank you. Thank you so much. So from the bottom of our hearts here at the Drake household, I'm Big D, the Gamecraft Dragon.
I'm Lady Dragon.
I'm the
Plague Child, somewhere over there.
Listening to
Show tunes.
again.
That being said.
I'm a theater nerd. What you expect?
So that being said, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that bell so you know when we're on to drive you nuts. We have Instagram. I'm Gamecraft Dragon. She's Lady Dragon 28. Plague Child is out there. We put stuff up there as regularly as we can. We're on Facebook. Hit us up. We're happy to talk. We're happy to chat. We've got a Discord. If you want a Discord connection, hit me up on here. We'll get you, at least you can get the base channel and chat with us. We're here all day. If I'm at the bench, I try to interact with it. I'm trying to be better about it. I'm not always paying attention, but I try to be better about it, especially when she bugs me about it, because she is just a little.
He told me to, so don't let him.
No.
He told me to nag him to make sure.
If I didn't have her, my world would fall apart like a mid-late year Ford. So that being said, I love you all so much. Remember, epic your game.
Epic your life.
And epic your board. Game on, everyone.
Really forward. Nobody